Movement is life. Movement is finding the courage to step out of old situations. Movement is reconnecting to God. Movement is the flow of spirit moving through us. Movement is joy. Welcome to the Woman Untamed practice. My name is Rashi. I'm the creator, and I hope that you enjoy this taste of what our class is like. Welcome. Thank you all again for joining me for my own personal practice. It's a more free-form version of the Woman Untamed class. And next, I want to show a song that I have known for years. Actually got an awesome opportunity to connect with the artist of this song. And she's such a beautiful soul, and this song has really touched me, and I just want to show a portion of the Woman Untamed class where we dance our story. And dancing your story is about connecting to the inner thing that's going on for you right now. And it can be anything. It doesn't have to be big or small, but it's just about connecting to truly what's happening in here and just letting it spill out. And when we create a space for ourselves to let go of what's happening on the inside, to let go of the story that we're allowing to keep ourselves, that we're allowing to keep us limited, to have a safe space to just commune with God and get the answers that we actually need for whatever the problem is, whatever the situation is that's going on in our lives. And that's all this space is about. And what happens in the class is I give you a full set of movements at the beginning of the class. And then I show you through this time where we dance our story, I show you how to string those movements together and slow them down so that you can create your own piece, so that you can find your own meaning for each of the movements, so that you can kind of take your healing process into your hands. I never want my clients to be dependent on me or the class that I've created or the spaces that I create in order to get what they need, in order to take care of themselves. I really want this class to give you the tools, to empower you with the tools to take care of yourself in between classes. And I want you to come back to the classes because you enjoy them, you enjoy the direction, you enjoy the space that we've created, and you just love the community. And not because you need us, because we all have what we need within ourselves. We all have what we need within ourselves. There's nothing that we need to go searching in other people or other places for. We have every single thing that we need. But sometimes we do need someone to ignite a spark in us. We need someone to turn something back on. We need someone to, as my pastor would say, plant a seed in us so that it can become fertile and we can actually receive the inspiration and the love and the joy and the support that's being poured into us. Because if you keep pouring joy and inspiration onto a fallow ground, as it says in biblical scripture, if you keep pouring it onto a fallow ground, you're just pouring it on thorns. You're pouring it on the wounds that are already there. You're pouring it on the pain, and it's not going anywhere. It's just kind of bouncing off, bouncing off, bouncing off. You may receive it for a quick second, but it doesn't seep in. It doesn't take root. And sometimes it takes a minute for things to take root. And so you come to these classes to get that spark, to get that thing ignited, to re-release yourself from that prison. But you are empowered with the tools to be able to keep doing this practice on your own, in between classes, no matter where you are in your day. Even if you just take a walk for 5 minutes during your work break and you reconnect to that power and you take yourself out of that prison and you strip off those layers of inhibition that can repeatedly weigh down on us throughout our day. And I've always danced. Dance is something that just comes really natural to me. And I believe that is what I have been called to share with other women. It's just having a pathway to reconnect back to our most powerful self. And while I grew up training to be a professional dancer and eventually went on to college to train as a professional actor, and those are things that I love to do, there's something deeper than just doing it for the performance element. There's something deeper than doing it for someone else. There's something deeper than doing it to perfect a certain technique. And I believe that the original spiritual purpose of dance and movement and storytelling was for healing. And when we use that practice for healing, when we use dance and storytelling and movement for the purpose of transformation, we see something powerful shift in our lives, because it's no longer just prayer. Prayer can be, if you are only at a certain level of spiritual maturity, prayer can just be a head up experience. And oftentimes it's a head, we're saying our affirmations, we're saying our scriptures, we're saying those positive quotes and stuff like that to ourselves, but it's not going anywhere down here. It's not filtering down to our toes. And what movement does is it takes that same prayer and that same intention and that same powerful affirmation, and it pushes it into the rest of the body, and it allows you to feel those scriptures that you keep repeating to yourself. It allows you to feel that affirmation that you keep chanting. It allows you to feel the transformation happening in the body versus you just trying to beat it into yourself mentally. And I know that we are oftentimes, when we're trying to make a change and we know we need to get out of a certain place in our lives, and we're just hustle. We're trying to really make that movement, but we're not physically moving. We're not physically getting out of that space of inertia. And mantras and prayers and reading and writing, all of those things are absolutely beautiful, but there's just something so powerful about adding dance and movement to your already flourishing spiritual practice. And you just have to try it. It's just something that you can't necessarily be convinced of it. You have to come and see for yourself. You have to feel it in your body and feel the difference. And before I have I walked into my space after taking my own time for self-care today and walking along the lakefront and just kind of sitting and listening to my music for a while. And I came back into my dance space and I felt more open than I did when I left this morning. And now there's an even deeper level of openness that comes from just shaking up the doubt. And that's what the first part of the practice that you just saw me do is just shaking up the doubt, shaking out the tension, shaking out the things that, are weighing heavy on our mind. Because as soon as we start shaking and releasing and moving those things out of the way, and removing those blocks, we reconnect to that openness that Spirit intends for us to live our lives with. And this next level is where we go into telling that story. It's to now that we're in a place of openness and we feel a little secure here in this vulnerability. Now we can actually get to the root of what's causing us to be in certain cycles in our life. We can get to the root of whatever is causing us turmoil or pain or dysfunction. And so that's what I'm getting ready to share with you, and I hope that this resonates with you. And if you feel called, I would love for you to share this with your girlfriends that you feel like would really resonate with this practice, and someone who you'd love to just come and take the class with. All right, see you all soon.
What if I can't? What if I can? What if I'm just an ordinary There is a will, there is a way, I will escape for sure. I am David Blaine, but if I be wrong, if I be right, let me be here with you. If I be wrong, if I be right, let me stay